Hello student, good afternoon. Today we have to study the new life cycle, that is Ascaris lumbricoides. Morphology of Ascaris lumbricoides. Much is known about the morphology and life cycle of nematodes. But out of them, Ascaris is most known as Ascaris lumbricoides. Is the most common nematode parasite found in the human intestine. Being a large size and found abundantly, Ascaris is studied as the main example of the nematodes. Systematic classification. Phylum Helminthes, class Nematoda, subclass Phasmidia, order Ascaroidea, genus Ascaris, species lumbricoides. Habits and habitat. This Ascaris lumbricoides is commonly called as the roundworm. Habits and habitat. Ascaris lumbricoides, a large nematodes parasite of man, is worldwide in distribution, found in all over the world. It occurs more commonly in the small intestine of the children. Than in adults, because of the children's custom of playing in contaminated eggs laden soil adjacent to dwellings. As many as 1000 to 1500 adult worms may be present in a single host. 1000 to 1500 adult worms may be present in the single host. That is the heavy infection taking place. Because of their strong, pointed and cuticular bodies and their habits of wandering, they may perforate the gut wall and cause peritonitis, or they may enter the bile or pancreatic ducts or the vermiform appendix and interfere with normal digestive functions. External features, shape and size. Both the sexes are elongated. This nematode is dioecious in nature. Male and female worm are separated. Female is longer than the male. Male is shorter than the female. In the female, posterior side is pointed, and in the male, posterior side is small curved. Both the sexes are elongated, cylindrical and pointed at both the ends. Males are 15 to 31 centimeter long and 2 to 4 millimeter in diameter, while the females are 20 to 35 centimeter long and 4 to 6 millimeter in width. The males are further distinguished by ventrally curved posteriorly posterior end from the slit-like opening of which often protrude to copulatory spicules. These copulatory spicules are the male reproductive organs. Coloration. In the living conditions, the color of the animal is milky white or reddish yellow. There is a characteristic luster on the body. Longitudinal lines. There are 4 longitudinal lines or streaks running throughout the length. One is mid-dorsal, one mid-ventral, and 2 lateral. The dorsal and ventral lines are the pale in color. The lateral streaks are thicker and broader than dorsal, and ventral streaks and are brown in color. At the anterior side, mouth is present. Below the mouth, that is excretory pore also. In female gonopore, and at the laterally dorsal side, that is the lateral line. At the posterior side, anus. In male, worm pineal city. Male and female are separated, that is the dioecious nature. Both the worms are the separated, and this nematode are the common parasites of the children's. Mouth. A triangular mouth is present at the anterior end of the body. It is surrounded by 3 denticulated lips. One of these is mid-dorsal and other 2 are lateroventral in position. The mid-dorsal lips is almost elliptical and has a fleshy core in the center. A circle of 4 sensory papillae is found on it. The remaining 2 lips also have a forked core, bifurcated, and 2 rows of sensory papillae. Each sensory structure is called as amphids. The sensory papillae of nematodes are very useful in the identification of the species and assigning their position. In the classical classification, the sensory papillae are tangoreceptor. The amphids are chemoreceptors. The posterior end of the male bears ventrally 50 pairs of the preanal papillae in front of the cloacal aperture and 5 pairs of the postanal papillae behind it. The first 2 pairs of the postanal papillae are double. These papillae of the male help in the copulation. Excretory pore. It is situated mid-ventrally, a little behind the mouth. Next, genital pore. It is present only in female and is situated mid-ventrally at about 1/3 distance from the anterior. 1/3 distance from the anterior anus. It is also present only in female. It is a transverse pore guarded by thick lips, lies mid-ventrally, a little in front of posterior end. Pre-anal papillae are present. Post-anal papillae, cloacal aperture, double post-anal papillae, cloacal aperture, pineal septal spicules, cloacal aperture. It is present only in male. It is situated mid-ventrally in front of the curved posterior end. Two chitinous pineal setae or pineal spicules are protruding through cloacal aperture. Okay, thank you. We will continue in the next period, remaining part.